Hey everyone, you made it to day 13 of the 28-day Get Hired Challenge. We're almost 2 weeks in, we're almost halfway there. It's so good to have you back. I'm Melissa Miller, and today we are talking about choosing your path in cybersecurity. So let's dig in. All right, everyone, welcome to day 13 of the 28-day Get Hired Challenge. My name's Alyssa Miller, and it is so good to have you back with us once again. Today, we are talking about choosing your path in cybersecurity. Now, if you've been paying attention, we talked about some of this before. Remember, we did that exercise where I told you to go look up some blog posts and try to find some themes and what it was that you found interesting about those articles or blogs or whatnot. Well, now we're taking it to another level. You see, when I wrote Cybersecurity Career Guide, here's the thing. I looked at some of the other books that were on the market, and what I noticed was every one of those books talked about here's the skills you need to have, here's how you get skills, here's how you do these things, right? But that was all they talked about, it seemed. And so what I wanted to offer in this book was a much broader perspective. Yesterday, we talked about how do you identify core skills. We talked about personal branding and personal objective statements. Those are things I didn't see in other books. So why do I bring this up? Because today we are going to talk about how do you figure out what skills you need to have that you don't have today. How do you build knowledge? How do you build skills? Do you have opportunities to build experience that are going to help you get the job that you're looking for in cybersecurity? What's going to help you chase that passion? But you know what's funny? This is section 4.4 of the book. That is it. That is the only place in the entire book that I got into this discussion of you need to, figure out that you have to have X skills and experience and whatever. Because I think, to me, somebody trying to find a job in cybersecurity, that's not the helpful part. I feel like that's the part everybody sort of gets. Like, I got to figure out. Now, maybe what I tried to do here, and what we're going to talk about today is, some helpful hints on how you can figure out what you're missing. But I think other than maybe that, people understand that, okay, I got to try to build skills. I got to try to get experience. I got to try to build my knowledge, whatever. Everybody understands it. And there's all sorts of different resources out there. I talked about a couple of them in some of the past episodes. So I don't want to focus on that because I want to focus on the value that I can bring you in this series. So we're digging in. We're talking about how do you identify the gaps and challenges that you have. So hopefully by now you've done your homework. If not, go back to the previous 2 days, days 11 and 12. And I want you to do that capabilities matrix because you're going to need it today for this one. What we're doing now is we are taking that passion that you identified days and days and days ago. If you didn't do that one, go back and find that too. I'm sorry, I don't remember what day that was even anymore, but figure out what some of those job roles are that you might want to be going after. Because the first thing I'm going to tell you to do is I want you to find 10 to 15, it's a lot, 10 to 15 job descriptions for jobs that look like they fit in that category or that discipline of cybersecurity that you're interested in. I want you to find them. And what I want you to do is I want you to go through their list of requirements. And I want you to look at the different skills that they're saying are required for that job. Now, you can leave out things like, if it calls for a degree or it calls for certification. We'll get to that stuff. Don't worry so much about that. We've already talked about the relative value or sometimes lack thereof of degrees and certs. So don't worry so much about that, but focus on the other requirements, other things that they say they're looking for. And I want you to put that list together, and I want you to notice the similarities, right? Because you're going to see those similarities, and you're going to see where a lot of times they're all looking for the same thing. So now you can just grab the unique ones, okay? We only need the unique ones. Then what you're going to do, and by unique, let me be clear. I mean, if there's 3 of them, you only need to list it once, okay? So unique in that sense, right? List them out so you understand what these common requirements are. But then now I want you to go back to your capabilities matrix. I want you to look at that inventory you created of all the capabilities you have, your core skills, your knowledge areas, your experience areas. Look at all of that. And I want you to start identifying where they apply. How many of that list of, different requirements do you meet? Because obviously from here, what you're going to start doing is looking at that and starting to understand where are there gaps? Where are there things that you can work on? And this is where it might even be helpful for you as you're doing this, as you're pulling together, and this is why I have you look at 10 to 15 job descriptions. Notice the ones that get asked for the most and start there. Do you have knowledge? Do you have skills? Do you have experience that meet those? Because if they're that common, those are the areas you're going to want to prioritize first. Now, what you want to do is you want to look at these, in terms of, do you match or not? And anywhere where you don't have a match, those are the ones you want to prioritize. How many of those can you fill with core skills? So look at those. And then let's also talk for a minute about soft skills. Now, I hate that word. I don't like the term soft skills because it gives a very different impression than what it is. When I say soft skills, here's what I'm referring to. When I say soft skills, I am referring to those skills that don't apply to specific technologies or, specific tasks. They're generally more personality traits. Kind of like core skills a little bit, but even less directly linked to a particular job task and more things that describe you. Because of course you're going to see those in requirements. You're going to see things like, demonstrated ability to communicate effectively. Boy, that just rolled off the tongue, didn't it? Like I've written that one before. You're going to see things like that. And so those are what we're talking about when we're talking about soft skills. So mark those as such in your list of requirements that you've pulled, and then consider those as well, because I didn't ask you to put those in your capabilities matrix. Maybe some of you thought to, but you should. Are you a good writer? Are you a good presenter? Remember, we talked about these last week. Some of those other skills that you may have when we talked about common cybersecurity skill sets, those are things that you need to be remembering too. Those are part of your capabilities inventory. So now, as you get these together, now what do you do, right? Obviously, it's not going to be very easy to go out and get experience in, some area of cybersecurity, but maybe you can at least build some knowledge. You can go out and do some research. You can literally Google it and start reading about it. So now you can say, I have knowledge of this topic. Maybe you can take it a step further. Maybe there's some way that you can actually apply that knowledge in some form. If you have a home lab, I know that that's something that a lot of people recommend to prospective cybersecurity career folk. If you've got a home lab somewhere you can do that, great. Maybe, like we talked about in a previous episode, I think it was day 11 we talked about this, maybe you even have the opportunity where there's an organization that you're involved in where you could build some experience by taking that knowledge, maybe some skills you've practiced, and you can start establishing that as experience. But what you're doing is you're looking at, all right, this is the area of cybersecurity I want to be in. Here's how I know definitively what the skills are, what the knowledge is, what the experience is that people are looking for in those jobs, so you can start building that. Because I could tell you all day long, go out, build a lab, play with things, write blogs, create content. Yes, these are all important things, and we are going to talk about them more as we continue on in this challenge. But the key is to understand the specifics of the roles you're looking for and what people are commonly asking for there. So, what I want you to do, I want to see you in the comments. You know this drill now. I'm giving away that free book each and every day. So I want you down in the comments. You tell me just one requirement that you found that you don't fill today that you're going to chase down, that you're going to try to build either knowledge, skill, or experience with as part of your cybersecurity search. All right, let me see those in the comments. I'll randomly select one winner, just like I've been doing every day. And also a reminder, all this month, 35% off all Manning titles. Go to Manning.com, enter that discount code. Get there faster by going to that short link, or get there faster still by scanning that very, very, very safe QR code that will just ultimately take you to that same short link. So keep coming back. I want to see you. Let's keep going. We're on day 13. We've got 15 more days to go. Lots of great information coming at you still. We are not there yet. We haven't even talked about resumes yet. We've not talked about how do you navigate job descriptions. We have so much to go through still. So keep coming back, because I'm going to keep coming back too. I'm here every day trying to help you get hired in cybersecurity. So I will see you tomorrow.